You're listening to Casual Conversation with Tina and Tonia Unplugged. You're listening to Casual Conversation with Tina and Tonia Unplugged. Y'all, I am Tina. And we're going to get into it today. We're going to get into it today, Mama. What's on the list to talk about today?
Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Casual Conversations with Tina and Tonia Unplugged. I am Tonia, and what's on the list to talk about today is we're going to dive into heartbreak. Everybody has experienced some type of heartbreak, whether it be a friendship or a relationship, whatever that is, it was a heartbreaking. Somebody, detached themselves from you, or you had to detach yourself from someone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Tina answer this question.
Okay, Mama. So you want to have me in my feelings this today. Okay, got it. All right. When I think of heartbreak, honey, I think of it depends on which one are we talking about. Because when I say heartbreak, when it comes to like a friendship situation, it's almost like an anger situation. Because I'm like, really, really, really? It's a heartbreak. But when I think of like a romantic thing, I most definitely think of some Mary J. Blige playing and like, come on back home situation. So, I just think of a really, really, when I think of heartbreak, it's just like a really sad place and something has ended, or either you have no idea why it ended, or you know why it ended, and you just left with just shambles. You were just all in a rut.
Well, for me, heartbreak is, of course, it's sad. It's something that literally takes your energy, because in order for somebody to break your heart, I feel you have to have put a lot and invested a lot into it. Being friendship or a romantic relationship, you have to have put a lot and trust into it. So that's the part that literally breaks your heart. And then it does turn into anger. So I truly understand that. So with that being said, do you want to share a little bit of heartbreak that you've had, in your lifetime, whether you're, even in your younger years, growing up as a teenager? Can you tell us something about that? Your first love, girl, you know how it is with them first love, baby, they can break your heart. So at this point, Tina, I just want to get into it and I want to hear what you got to say. Tell me, girl.
The first time I really, really, really experienced heartbreak, because I'm a hopeless romantic. I put that out there. I am. I don't know why I am like that. I don't know, Mama. You always said that, I was made out of love. Huh?
Girl, yes, ma'am. She was made out of love, but she is a hopeless romantic. I will say that. But you know what? I don't blame her. It's something that I'm growing into. So go ahead on, baby. Tell me what happened to you, because I don't like nobody hurting you.
Okay, so I think when I experienced, I think I was like, in my teen years, maybe like 18, 17. Because anything before 17, honey, we don't count down. But like my first real boyfriend, let's say his name was Tay Tay, right? So that was like my first real boyfriend. The reason why I say it, because I brought him around my family, like, my mama name, my sister name, like that situation. And I don't bring people around my family. Mama, as you already know, you know this.
I do know that, Tina. But, I commend you on, being, authentic and, being transparent with that, being able to say that, that was your first real love, and acknowledge that, you knew what that was. You knew what that feeling was of love. So, girl, come on, get it to us, because I know this about to be juicy.
think the interesting thing with Tay Tay was that we had the same initials. We had the same birthday. We both was left-handed. That was crazy.
Wait a minute, girls, you trying to tell me that you got a twin out there? Come on now, mama didn't make this one.
We was together for like 3 years, and honey, I loved him down because that was my first real boyfriend. So I'm like, okay, all right. Long story short, I just feel like he started feeling himself. He started feeling himself, and when you start smelling yourself and thinking like, oh, the grass is green on the other side, baby, I'm gonna let you go over there and see what it is. Surely but holdily, he most definitely found out that it was not green on the other side. But I was hurt. I was really, really like hurt down bad, honey. When I tell you, Mama, you already know this. I had played my K Michelle.
Baby, did she play K Michelle? Honey, I really thought K Michelle had came over to the house and went in her room and just did a darn concert.
Yes, like I love my K Michelle. That's my breakup music. I play K Michelle. I play Keisha Cole. Those are the breakup anthems. So I was really, 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 really hurt. And it took me a long, 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 long time to get over him. Like over 5 years.
Tina, that was long. Real long.
When I love somebody, I love them hard. Like I don't play about my man, my family, and just people who I just give my energy to. And I was really, really heartbroken, y'all. Like I was really, really heartbroken. And I don't wish harm on nobody, but in that moment, we just let the chips fall where they may, because I was really upset at the time. But that was really excruciating, like heartbreak that I experienced. And I was crying and listening, like I said, K Michelle, and just in my feelings, Facebook stalking, Instagram stalking, it's just a lot of stuff, y'all. Like a lot of stuff when you are in it and just be like, why? Like, why does this happen? Like, I'm a good person. And it don't even have nothing to do with you at the end of the day. We were both young and still trying to figure out ourselves and things like that, and shit just happened. But at that time, you couldn't tell me nothing. It was no reconciliation. It was like, oh, okay. So that was mine. But I was sad, honey. I was real sad.
Well, Tina, I'm glad that you're healed from that, because that really sounds like it really did a job on you. So I'm kind of glad, you healed from that. And you're right, it do take a while, I would just share my little experience with real bad heartbreak. I would
Broke your heart, baby. Oh, baby, because you were she out here in these streets. Who done broke your heart?
well, I'm still a G. Come on now. But now, G mean grandmama. Oh, but now, I'm just saying that, yeah, I did. I experienced some heartbreak. I experienced several heartbreaks, to be honest. So, yeah, I just, I've had my share of heartbreaks, and I'm pretty sure I've also broken some hearts as well. But, one experience that I would like to share is this young gentleman. He was in my life. He was such a good person. He accepted me for my flaws and all. I accepted him for his flaws. Although those flaws didn't start coming out, ladies, until we was in the relationship. Of course, you don't get them at the first beginning. But what he did was he set my life up for a family. And when I'm saying that, no, I didn't have kids with him, but the children that I had, he made us feel so inclusive in his life. So with that, women, we start looking for, hey, are we going to get married? Am I going to be a fiance? So we start kind of checking off some boxes so that we'll know that, hey, maybe I need to change, pivot a little bit, because I might be getting a little bit closer to, becoming a wife. So, I did that. I pivot and I started doing things a little different, moving a little different. Well, unbeknownst to me, although, he took my kids in, we lived together, we experienced life together. Matter of fact, he was even in the delivery room with my last child that wasn't his. He literally walked with me all the way through my pregnancy for my last child, again, which was not his. We didn't have kids together, and was in the delivery room. So, at that point, I'm like, oh, yes, this is going to be the man for me, right? Because ain't no man going to walk through a pregnancy that's not his and be in the delivery room with you and name your child. No, she didn't. That my child didn't get his last name, but he named my child. So I'm like, okay, we got to be looking towards, becoming a couple, a legalized couple. Well, unbeknownst to me, he was also had some other stuff going on the side. Like Tina said, you want the grass is greener on the other side. Well, sometimes, although that grass is greener, what fertilizer is. It's a lot of BS. So you go over there and you get all of that. But needless to say, I recovered from it. It was devastating. It was heartbreaking. My son told me, "Hey, Ma, JJ picked us up from camp and we went to his sister's house, but I don't understand why he hold his sister's hand and give us ice cream money to go get some ice cream from the store and come back and him and his sister in the room. What's wrong with that?" Yes, ladies, that's the story I got from my son to tell me that JJ was picking them up from camp and taking them to his sister's house. But yet, get them ice cream money so they walk down to the store. But when they come back, JJ and his sister, in quotation marks, coming out the room, fixing their clothes.
All right, Mama, that's crazy. That is some shit right there. Wow, Mama, that was a lot of shit right there, baby. Woo, honey. Baby, I need some wine. I don't need drink. But that was a lot of tea you don't spill.
Yeah, Tina, but, like I said, that was one of my most devastating hurts. And my process of trying to heal through that was the best way to get over one is to get on one. So, ladies, I started doing a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have been doing. But at the end of the day, I still was a lady, although I was doing what I was doing. Remember what I say. But I did do that. I did that. And I thought it was going to help me heal. But it only caused a lot of friction in my life. So I know now that is not the road to take. So just the process of actually going through it, allowing yourself to hurt, allowing yourself to feel those feelings, but also allowing yourself to forgive yourself and to recover. And now, things are a lot better in my life because I've learned how to heal myself, talk it out, pray about it, and move on, because we are not in control of somebody else's, decisions.
I agree with the whole healing thing because I truly, truly do not believe in the whole after you break up with somebody, then you go with somebody else, then you go with somebody else, then you go with somebody else. Like, what have you really taken the time to heal from that relationship so you don't bring that into your next relationship? So some people, bounce back fast. I don't understand that. Are you truly, really over it or not? But healing yourself, absolutely. Taking the time to step back and be like, okay, this is how it affect me. All right. Maybe I've seen red flags. Maybe I ignored them. Why did I ignore them? Really just dissect the whole relationship once it's in so you don't repeat those mistakes again. So I really, 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 really appreciate the healing process. Now, my healing process may be a little longer. It's because I love a little deeper. When I'm in it like I love. So in that, it took me time in those 5+ years. It just took me to date people to really learn myself in those years and actually just start talking about like my daddy issues to therapists and all of those things, because all of that stuff matters when you are dating. All of that is a heartbreak. They always say like the first man that you're gonna ever love is your daddy. And if you've never had a relationship, then when you get into those romantic relationships and spaces and you find a man, you put so much on this man and he's human just like you. So he's going to mess up. So that's pretty much how my relationship was. I put so much on him, made sure like he couldn't do no wrong. Like, no, you can't do no wrong. Like, and that's not fair. And of course, we were young, but just because I did not have that father figure from the first stance, I put so much pressure on him. And he was like 19. Come on. Back now, I mean, I'm 30 now, but looking back, I'm like, how can you put that on a 19-year-old? Like, come on. All right, Mom. So heartbreak can be developed in so many other different relationships, even in friendship. Things are just strictly platonic between, friendships. So have you ever had like a heartbreak from a friend? Because I can share mine if you want me to share mine.
Yeah, Tina. I can't say that I've had a heartbreak from friendship, but what I can say, I have had times where I was distant from a friend, not because of anything bad, but just because of life changes and things that I was working on in my relationship or in my life at the time. I wasn't as present in a friend's life, and they took it as though I wasn't being their friend. But I haven't had anything that I would say was heartbreaking to the point where we left each other. But I do remember this one time where I had a friend, and I just call her IJ. And IJ, I said something to hurt her, but at the time I didn't know what I said to hurt her. And I'm not going to say she didn't talk to me, but she pulled back. And she called me one day and she said, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. We talked it out, and I had said something that hurt her really bad. And she shared that with me. And at that moment, I felt so bad because what I shared with her, what I told her, was because of something I had went through. And I told her that I wasn't going to do a particular thing because I had probably a traumatic experience with it. And I didn't share all of that with her as to why I said what I said. So she only got the hurt part. She didn't get the why. She didn't get that. So, but we came back together. We're best friends. We're fine and everything. But that's about it. That's about it as far as friends. But what about you? What you've experienced? I know there's a couple of people, but what you've experienced?
I know, honey. I had them dropping like flies. I don't understand. It's like that thing when they say about once you leave high school and you graduate, the people that you thought that gonna be with you, and they just start dropping like flies or being distanced and all of that. Now, I expect that from some people, so I was fine with it. It was great. But this one particular person, oh my goodness, it tore me to pieces because I didn't understand it. I would have never thought it. So it was almost like I was blindsided. It was crazy. Had a long dear friend. We went to prom together. It was just one of my really, 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 really good friends. He would always come over. It was one day he actually came down to spend Thanksgiving with me when my family was on a cruise or something. I think I had to work or something, so I was at the house. And he took me driving, and it was just cool. Like, we really just had a good time. And he was like a ball of energy. I would have never thought in a million years to this day to think that we would not be friends no more. And you would think like we fell out, but it really wasn't a fell out. It was more so of whatever he was dealing with in like growing or going to school and things like that. And I would take it so personal. Like, what did I do wrong? When really you didn't do anything wrong. They just distanced themselves for whatever the reason is. But for me, closure, I earn for closure. Like, I ache for closure. Like, I have to have that. Because sometimes when you don't know that why, you start creating up all these reasons why. And then it got you like on somebody's couch saying, what did I do wrong? And in the cases like that, you just don't know. And it really just hurt me, y'all. Like it really, really did. Still to this day, I've gotten better, but that's was somebody that's just, I would have never thought in a million years that we would not be friends anymore. And that one hurt me like real bad.
I remember that. I remember that like yesterday. And you would come and you would cry to me and you'd be like, what did I do, Mom? What happened? What am I that bad of a person? I mean, how can I fix it? Do I need to call them? They won't answer my phone call. You was just going through it because you really, really looked at that person as being a very, very good long-term friend. And I had to, watch you go through that breakup. Uh, Unbeknownst to you, you didn't know you was getting ready to go through a breakup. You didn't know that you was gonna be basically dropped like a hot potato. Not making fun of it, but basically that's what it was. And you was traumatized by that. And I'm glad you worked through it because I know it was a struggle for you. But like I always tell you, people can be like seasons. They can come into your life in seasons and they're there for that purpose, whatever that purpose is. And sometimes and they're in their own season. So therefore they come in your life, in your season, but they have their own season and their season may not always match with yours. And that's okay. So sometimes we have to just leave stuff where it is and say, okay, they decided not to be my friend. And that's okay because hopefully wherever their journey takes them, they're able to be a better friend to someone else, So I truly understand that. And like, again, I'm so glad you heal from that and everything. And because you're a bomb. He the one missed out. You are a freaking bomb. You are so caring. You are sensitive. You are empathetic and sympathetic. You're going to show up for people. You're going to do the best you can. And anything that they need, you're there for. So, Christina, let me tell you something, baby. You ain't did shit wrong. That one missed out. That one missed out on a very good friend who will show up in their lives because we don't always have people to show up. But, you got good friends in your life now that love you honestly and wholeheartedly. So, hey, just another notch in the belt, baby girls. Another damn notch in the belt.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you saying those things about me because, in fact, I'm with you when you're right, baby.
Hey.
Let's shift gears and offer some advice to our listeners that may be, going through it through their friendships or relationships or any type of friendship, relationship that has ended. We want to offer some advice to you guys. So my advice is don't blame yourself. There is nothing you could have done, said, did differently if that person wanted to exit your life for any type of reason, for their own mental health, for they feel that they could do something else, or maybe have a different relationship with somebody else. That has nothing to do with you. If you know that you've done everything and exhausted all of your reasoning, just let it go. Forgive yourself, forgive them, and you just move on and make new friends and do things that just pour back into yourself. That's the best advice that I can give our listeners today.
Great advice, Tina. I just want to say that in this life journey, we're going to have those tough times where we have to allow people to walk away. We are not supposed to hold on to people that don't want us to hold them. Remember that. If you don't want me to hug you, hell, I ain't gonna hug your ass. So we have to look at life like that and know that it's okay to let them turn their back and walk away from you. And somebody may be going through a point in their life where they may have to walk away from somebody. It's okay if you do. You don't necessarily owe them an explanation. Don't feel that you do. Why? Because this is your life. These are the changes and the things that you're making for yourself. If you feel that that person is not adding value to your life, then it's okay to walk away and not even tell them. Yeah, I'm going to say it. You don't have to owe them an explanation. Only thing you have to do is make sure that the choice that you made, that you have made it for your freaking self. That's it. And if that choice you made is for you and it's going to benefit you, then that's usually what we're going to do. Because we can't live this life without hurting somebody. It's not going to happen. It's not built that way, unfortunately. But in this life, we are going to hurt someone. Knowingly or not, we will do it. So with that being said, hey, if you want to take charge of your life, if you want to make sure that the people you have around you benefit you, value you, and you are also a value to them, then yeah, continue on with your relationships. Build more relationships, build more friendships, have that energy around you so that you'll be able to manifest the dreams and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. So that would be my advice to, the listeners. Just pour into yourself.
All right, there you have it. Thank you for listening to another episode of Casual Conversations with Tina and Tonia Unplugged. We'll see y'all again next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
You're listening to Casual Conversations with Tina and Tonia Unplugged. You're listening to Casual Conversations with Tina and Tonia Unplugged.